Hi guys, so we're coming towards the end of the competition and the things you need to do. And today's all about polishing your games, making them really great for really excellent presentation. Sometimes it's the thing we forget to do. We get excited when we start a project, we do all the great making, and then we forget to make the effort at the end to get the graphics right, to get the instructions right, which can make such a difference to a game. So we'll be going through all those points today. Let's get straight into it. This is what we're going to be covering today. We're going to be using the review and improve technique, getting a friend to review it and then improving it. We're going to be looking at clear instructions and what that might mean, how to get cool endings for online games, and then obviously how to submit a board game and submitting online games. Let's just go to that and look. So the first thing is the review and improve. So kind of with review and improve, I'll just transition over to this guy. I kind of like him as a reviewer. He's reviewing different board games. So let's just see what he's got to say to us during this.
I'd like to see more games made in this line. We'll have to wait and see. So here we go. Number 10 is Hive. I'm actually not a huge fan of Hive, but I felt a bit of disservice to this list had I not put it on here. So I'm not a big fan of this, but this is by far the most popular bug game out there. It's an abstract strategy game in which there's no board and you place the pieces down and you're moving them around trying
to get someone you trust to do the reviewing. And they will give you a really good feeling of what worked well in your project and what could be improved. And just work on those improvements and it will make a big difference to your game. Be humble and listen. So you've got to ask someone who you trust. So the next thing is about clear instructions. Clear instructions are really super important in games because otherwise people get confused and lost, and that is the cardinal sin in a game because people just lose their interest. If they can't work out how to play it in the first kind of few minutes, they don't want to do it. So in board games, I like this sort of threefold, taking an A4 and making it into three folds, making sure you know how to set up the game, how to play it, how to take turns, how to work around the board using your cards if you've got them and your dice, and how to win it. So that's really clear, and they have to be submitted for the board game section. So, but there's also clear instructions for computers, and I just want to come to a little thing on that. So having a look at this one, I just want to throw it up on the screen. It's really important that the information about the game comes to you pretty immediately, and I like having a screen which tells you here's the good things which are going to happen, here's the movement system, here's the bad things that you've got to avoid, collect dung, you've got 3 lives, and that should be enough to play the game. Now just let me see if I can get to there is another section that you can write instructions in Scratch. I think it's a good idea to use it, but I prefer the screen at the beginning. And here is the instructions you can put down. But it's got a nice section here, notes and credits. So it's always good to credit those people who have been helping you. So think about that. So we've been dealing with clear instructions, whether it's on board games or online games. And now what we're going to do is we're going to look at the whole issue of online games and having cool endings. And this is really important in online games, because otherwise it can feel like a real damp squib when you win. Let's go and have a look at some of the cool endings you can get. So let's start with the you lose. So this is a screen which pops up when your health goes to 0 and you're a dung beetle and you get pecked to death by a crow. Pretty gruesome, but it just gives a sort of fun way of looking at it. But in the same way, you need to be looking at your winning screen to be really interesting, because people have won, they need to be congratulated, so you need to have something. It might tell you something about the score they've got, a little bit of animation on it, and I will pop up these in our code help section so that you can use those little techniques if you'd like for your game. So cool endings, what can I say? You really need them. So from cool endings we move to submitting games, and let's look at the submitting a board game. Now the first one is take loads of photographs of the board, because that's the main thing of the game. It shows us your whole intent. Move on and take photographs of all the characters you have for your game and any cards you use. And finally, and perhaps just the most important, a good set of instructions. Without a set of instructions, we would not know what your game was about. So without that, we wouldn't be able to assess it. So really remember number 3. Now, once you've got that, you need to be submitting it. And to submit a board game, you want to go into the right section on the website, which is submission site, and you go down and you email all of those things to myboardgames@earthgames.uk, and make sure you've got the board, the characters, any dice used, cards, rules, and acknowledge people. Okay, and that is the heart of submitting a board game. Online games slightly different, so I just want to go and have a look at that now. The submitting an online game is done through my Scratch game, earthgames.uk. You can see the email there. Let's just go and have a little transition to the right section of the website and have a look at it on the website. So as you can see, up here you'll see games when complete must be emailed to us if you want to be considered a game developer, and you need to have all of these bits of information in it. The other important thing to note, which is that for both of the board game and the online game, we've extended the submission date to the 31st of July, because there's been lots of entries and lots of people joining us late, so we want to give them a chance. And yeah, so 31st of July gives you all a good chance to develop your games. And now we'll then be choosing winners from the 31st of July, and the prizes will be given out on the 31st of August. So the whole of August we'll be judging your process, but the prizes will be given out on the 31st of August. And we're hoping that will give us get through lockdown and ensure that we can give you some really good prizes, and that you can attend trips to the Natural History Museum with our Bugmaster and things like that, because lockdown won't be so severe. The international students, well, remember yours, you'll get them in Amazon vouchers, so remember the good prizes there, and we're really looking forward to receiving yours. So, really, that comes to the end of what we've been doing here. We're really enjoying it. We're so excited to see the things which have been coming from you guys, yeah, we're just really excited. Do ask questions. Use Ask an Expert. We will get back to you. We will put them in frequently asked questions. Yeah, so do that, and enjoy the process, and we hope you win. Okay, take care. Bye.